Coach Tomjack, talk about our receivers and our A-backs.
If all the receivers can please come to the front, please, and stand right here, please. So this year, I had the honor of coaching receivers with Coach Tomjack. Man, this was a blast to coach this group. If you know any of these guys, all 5 of them are characters in their own way. They probably keep you laughing in some form or fashion and just have a lot of high energy. Coming to practice every single day, especially the offensive side of the ball. You heard Coach Stanfield said we have to keep the tempo up pretty quick. I like to go fast. And sometimes you have a choice either to let that drag you down or kind of rise to the occasion. And all 5 of these guys, nonstop. I mean, when you're running the ball, catching it nonstop, and when we practice, you're not catching the ball and running for 2 steps and that's it. We're making them go 2 strides, which is 10 yards plus every single time, and then making them line back up. So imagine just running sprint after sprint after sprint and keep going every single time. These guys have a positive attitude the entire time they're in practice. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about each of them. So the first one I want to talk about is Rodrick Stubblefield. Come over here, stand in the front so everybody can see you right here.
Thank you. On the red, on the red, on the red, on the red.
So Rodrick, he this year had 11.3 yards per reception. He rushed about 180 yards, just under 300 yards total offense. He was the offensive MVP versus Cedar Creek. If you were there, that's probably one of the best games he's ever had. And he was all district honorable mention. Rodrick, I remember his last year on JV, we knew from the get-go he was going to be special and he was going to be a contributor this season. And right when this season started, he was able to step in and play just about every position in the receiver corps. Played outside, it didn't matter. Rodrick knew his role, and that's one of the best things about him. He's not going to complain. He's not going to moan. He's going to say, "Yes, sir. Let's go." If he had a mistake on a route or something else, we get on to him. "Yes, sir," and just get back in there and correct it. And so one of the things with him, we're excited for him to come back and to get stronger this offseason. And man, next year's going to be good. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rodrick Stubblefield. Shamir Nichols, come on over here, sir. Shamir, man. Shamir crossed over to us this year, his first year playing offense. He came over to us. He was kind of wide-eyed. I think he didn't really comprehend how much that entailed and how intricate our offense is. I don't want to say it's hard, but there's a lot of parts in it. And I like to call this offense like an AP or pre-AP offense. Not everyone can play this offense, and I'm just coming from other high schools. If we took this offense to other places, it wouldn't work. And so being here to see him to come over and to be able to catch on right away and to learn position, man, one of the hardest things we had. This year he had 157 receiving yards, rushed for 264, total of 421 yards in the season. He was the offensive MVP for Bastrop, and he was all district honorable mention. So far this year and this offseason, done a great job in becoming a leader, coming to before school workouts, even over the break. Infectious personality, and he's also really hard on himself. And I always try to tell him in the film room where we're going to celebrate all the good things, but we're going to coach some of the mistakes that need to be corrected. And he's the first one on the ground, right when we go to the play. He goes, "Coach, I already know." He'll get down to the ground and start doing push-ups in the film room without me saying anything. He'll be really hard on themselves. So he's probably his biggest critic, but that's a good thing for a young man like him to be able to notice those kind of things. We're excited for him to get stronger, to get faster, and you're going to be a big part of this offense this next season. So, ladies and gentlemen, Shamir. Next up, Jarvis Henderson. Come over here, Jarvis, in the front so we can see you. Jarvis this year had 37 receptions for 588 yards. He averaged 15.9 yards a catch. He was second team all-district and was the offensive MVP versus Marble Falls. Jarvis played mainly outside receiver for us. one of the things that I noticed tremendously from last year to this year was the difference in his demeanor. His best route probably was a 5-yard stop or a screen route, and it's not because that's a short pass. It's what he did after. He made a 5-yard pass, and he would run after contact and make 20 yards, 30 yards, and he was hard to bring down. I remember in the film where we looked and we just kind of said, man, Jarvis almost becomes like a really tall, skinny running back on the outside, because it's not going to take one guy to tackle him. If you saw any games with him on the outside, these little dump ball passes to him, he's going to keep running, and it's going to take more than one guy to bring him down. If you're that one guy, he's going to make you pay or make you look a fool. One of the things we're excited for him right now, he's in basketball, but when he comes back, he has some high goals for himself for next season as a senior. He's going to get ready to go. Very infectious personality, hard worker, and I appreciate him stepping up and being a leader in this group. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jarvis Henderson. So in this group, as you saw, we had 5. These are our 2 seniors. Man, these 2 guys have been really special to this program from day one. If anything, both of them are leaving a legacy here, and they helped create the offense of what it is today and being the #1 in this district this past year. And arguably, 2 of the biggest sparks in this offense that we had to count on this past season. And as a staff, offense, defense, special teams, these guys were invaluable to us as they played everything in all 3 aspects of the ball, which is a really big deal. So the first one I want to talk about is Khorin Thompson. Khorin, come over in the front, please, sir. Khorin had 17 receptions for 250 yards. He averaged 15.5 yards a catch. He rushed for another 300 yards this season, putting in about 547 yards total. He was the offensive MVP versus Liberty Hill, 2nd team all district as well. Khorin was probably the most knowledgeable receiver in our entire corps. As you heard him get spoke about earlier in defense, there's just some things that you can't teach athletes, and Khorin has a lot of those qualities where you just, sometimes as a coach, you almost become a fan, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what he just did. Look at this catch he made in this run. Really good at slow playing some players. If he was able to pick up on your weaknesses, and he's going to pick on you. Really smart, knowledgeable, played all parts of the game. One of the best memories I have of him was the catch versus Eastview. It was like 3rd and forever. We caught Chevy. Khorin a little 10-yard in, caught the ball, and what was more impressive was his breakaway speed to score that touchdown to help secure that big win for us versus Eastview. Khorin, great young man, great personality. Man, he's definitely a brother that everyone in this program is going to miss. I know every coach on this up here is going to miss this guy. Very infectious personality, very genuine young man, high character, did everything right. Khorin, we appreciate everything you've done for Glen football, and you're definitely leaving a legacy here. And just because your time here is done, man, you are always welcome here at the Glen High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Khorin Thompson. Last but not least, Mr. Samuel Martin. Sam Martin this year, he had 29 receptions for 463 yards, and he also had 14 passing yards. He was academic all-district, offensive MVP versus Port Lavaca, code special teams MVP versus Weiss, academic all-district, and an even bigger honor in my opinion, academic all-state honorable mention, as you've heard his name quite a bit. Sam was hands down the heartbeat of our receiving group. His attitude was very contagious. If you came to our practice at any point in time, you always heard someone yelling all the time for no reason. And you're just all like, who is this guy? And all of a sudden you walk up, it's Sam Martin. Now that's just how Sam is, and Sam likes to be yelled, likes to be vocal. And he was the spark that we needed. Some days in practice at drag, and Sam would just start yelling randomly, let's go, let's get going, let's eat, and all these different things. He would keep going. And so his personality is really infectious. One of the best memories I've had of him, McCallum, 4th and 11, big time play we call, I believe it was Chevy once again, the backside post. Sam just run. Offensive line made some great blocks. Drew threw the ball up. Sam went and got the ball and helped secure, with the help of everyone else, Glenn High School's first varsity win. And so that was a big-time game. And then obviously when you saw the highlight film, Port Lavaca, his one-handed catch, probably one of the most athletic things I've ever seen as a coach. And once again, at that moment, I became a fan and just couldn't believe it. Sam had a career high that game of 166 yards receiving in one game, which, I mean, it's unofficial. That might be the single game receiving record at this point in time. So you can definitely agree Sam's going to leave a legacy here. Really genuine young man, cared for our groups, always pulled on our three juniors, Jarvis, Shamir, and Rodrick, took care of them, made sure they were always doing right in the classroom, doing right on the field, doing right all together. And he was kind of like the next man in charge after me of the group. And I don't know if he realizes, but Sam is a natural born leader, whether he likes it or not. And I hope as he keeps going from here, he accepts that role, because he has a presence where people are just drawn to him. And he needs to use that, and he is, to keep using that for good and to keep building character. And hopefully he passes down what was instilled into him. So, Sam, thank you for everything you did for Glenn football, for your hard work, your unselfishness, and same thing, you are always welcome here. Just because you're done, you're always welcome here. So, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Martin.
You started late.